Welcome YouTubers. Now, see this button up there? Just up there, or it could be there. It's the top 100 clips on video. It's underneath, I think, the second button in. This space here contains over 100 million videos. I think they worked out as 16,000 years worth of video. Now, how many of those videos in the top 100, which doesn't change it doesn't change that often because it's voted on by all of you watching this, how many of them are adverts? Paid for, branded pieces of video that win things like this. How many of the top 100? 4. And one of those is the Ronaldinho advert when he's kicking a ball against the crossbar and it bounces back, and it's filmed like a YouTube video. This site is redefining how video is looked at.
It's people who have evolved that as a medium that makes it so interesting. It's not like YouTube said, okay guys, you do this and you do that and you do that. It's like people actually took it and did what they wanted to do with it.
I think we're experiencing a similar revolution to when everyone was doing press ads and TV came along. And I'd imagine that was pretty exciting for everyone. And it produced some extremely good directors out of creatives.
It's an amazing space. But I wonder how this DIY culture of making videos is going to change as the people on here who are effectively making their art, educating themselves, seeing what's great, will they become the next filmmakers? Will they be the next advertising people? Will they be the next directors?
If you take my children as an example, if they had their way, they would be on online video sites all day, every hour of every day and every weekend. So if they are the future, then being able to choose your online video in this way probably is the future, scary though it might seem at certain points. So I think it possibly is the future. It scares me a little.
Whatever you're producing, you are producing something that people are going to watch. Not something that opportunistically they're going to come across between other forms of content that they're looking at, but something that is gripping enough that people will actually go to see.
You know, when people have made a choice to go and see something, when you're into the multiples of 100,000s anyway, you know that this is a phenomenon that people are electing to consume the advertising. It's not just ambushing them in a commercial break, they're actually choosing to go and watch it. And that's a very, very exciting development for creative people.
I know so many people, myself included, who think about getting stuff online long before we think about finding it elsewhere. So I think it's not the next, I think it is the current, it's the now thing.
I mean, we used to look to MTV for, you know, great direction and great ideas, you know, to sort of steal and use. And now, obviously, with the sort of standard of ads that you see that people have made for themselves on YouTube, it just makes us have to work that much harder.
I was speaking to a director recently who shall remain nameless, who said nowadays he gets a lot of scripts that at the top say, see YouTube reference XYZ, and he was absolutely horrified by that. I think there's two ways of looking at it. We can either take the stuff on YouTube and make it better, which creatives have always done. They're jackdaws. They take something, they turn it into a commercial thing. Or we can just lift wholesale from YouTube or things like that. So it depends on the individual creative. You can either be really, really lazy and steal, or you can be inspired by something and take it on.
You could say that actually visual language has never been more important. So the role of the art director, the role of the designer has never been more fundamental to the creation of ideas and brands. An idea has to be absolutely rock solid, it has to be self-determining, it has to be able to be flexible. If it's going to be teased and worked across a multitude of platforms in 133 different ways, at the root of any project is the strength of an idea. So YouTube is wonderful, but it's just another platform.
For me, video online is yes, absolutely, is where it's at, but I think it's what you do with it. I think it really is important, the story that you tell using the video, because the technique is kind of an old hat now.
You know, in and of itself, I don't think a technology should ever be the future of what a particular kind of advertising should be. It should be about the idea, the concept, and how well it's executed, and not about whether it's online video or 2.0 or whatever it could be. I think that's kind of wrong to see things in terms of sort of technical standpoints.
I think it's an extension of an evolution which is going on, which is just exploring new ways of telling stories. That's something which we see. Brands and agencies are inventing new ways to tell stories. They're inventing new formats in which you can tell stories. So it's not just 30-second slots, but you actually have lots of new formats.
I think you have to get used to living in an ever-changing world and an ever-changing environment with a lot of creative possibilities. And I think if you're constantly trying to work out what's coming next, you're probably missing all of the opportunities to use existing craft skills, like, you know, even boiling it back down to good copy or you know, nice bits of illustration or composition to solve your problem. I just think flexibility and open-mindedness are the only things that matter, really.
There's new frontiers every day, and online video is just one of them. But who knows? Maybe one day there'll be molecular advertising where a logo might appear on a molecule, and you'll be walking down the street and you will breathe in some molecules with a Pepsi logo on it and wonder, why do I feel like a Pepsi right now? But maybe online video will be the next frontier for the briefest of moments in an Andy Warhol world.
There is a sort of glorious sort of love affair with new channels as they happen, but you know, that will continue, and you know, this week it's YouTube, next week will be something else.
I definitely agree that online video is a huge territory, and it is one for agencies to conquer, but it's not the only one.
I think actually the real trick and the real genius is in having an idea that you execute ingeniously, differently and engagingly across all different platforms.
I think good work will always shine through whatever medium you throw at it. So I think it's pretty exciting, to be honest.
Yes, it's going to be a big influence, and I certainly look myself. So, but I won't be stealing.
Incredible when you think the people here in this space who are making it will change the world for the next 20 years.